Okay, so you finished actually on time. Great.
Yes.
So now it seems everything to work. Yeah, now you can focus on your presentation.
So, hello everyone. My name is Leo Hofer. I'm representing the team La Girafe. Our team, and especially I, welcome you at our pitch. Our project is called Dachfenster. You might ask yourself why we gave our project such an exotic name, but it's simply because we intended to provide a ride-sharing solution for a broad target group, even as exotic as our mascot animal, the giraffe. So if you want to transport a giraffe in a normal car, you need a Dachfenster. This is how this project was named. Our challenge was sponsored by Accenture. It was called Reaching Climate Goals Together. And the context of our challenge is 1.9 million commutes by car per day in Switzerland. And yes, if we can match some of those routes together, we can drastically reduce the amount of cars driving around every day and thereby reduce CO2 emissions in a pretty big scale. And yes, as an additional requirement, there's also custom needs and requirements of users of this car sharing app, like the amount of baggage they have to transport, or for example, similar music taste as their driver, just to make the experience more enjoyable. And yes, this is what we started with. And this is what distinguishes our solution from other ride-sharing apps. So we wanted to minimize the detour time for the driver. So yes, we want to make it as simple as possible for the driver to take someone else with him. And we want to minimize the difference between the ideal departure times for the passenger and the driver. And we want to maximize the social aspect of ride sharing, because it can be a social adventure, whatever. So if you regularly spend like 30 minutes per day in a car, you might get to know each other better. And we also want to maximize comfort. This is associated with the first goal. And the freedom of choice for drivers and passengers when they choose with whom they want to drive. And we also want to have a reliability score for the users, especially for the drivers. Because if I want to use a ride-sharing app, I want to be able to rely on the driver, because how could it be useful if I cannot rely on him? And we also want safety for the user. So if someone drives carefully or is reliable or just a nice person, this person will get a higher score on the app, because every passenger has the chance to rate his driver after he was in the car with him. How we achieve this goal? The final decision lies in the hand of the driver. So we only provide a handful of options they can choose from. These options are just rides that match the departure and arrival time and geographical wise. So the final decision is made by the user, and he has some additional information about the driver, like his music preferences or whatever. You can set like tags when you create your profile. And yes, and the sensitive data is only shared when both parties, this means driver and the passenger, agreed to the match that was detected by our software. So beforehand, you you do not know exact locations from the other users. So now a short demonstration. I only have 1.5 minutes left, so I have to be quite fast. So if I log in as a, thanks. So, I hope you can see it. Yes. No. If anyone can help me, I'd accept the help. Yes. Yes, I got it. So now I'm logged in as a passenger who's looking for a ride. I can set the address here. This is just some example address. I can put in any address in Switzerland or even the whole world. Then I can search for a match. We matched available rides beforehand, so the matching takes quite some time. So user experience is much better if we match this before and put the results in a database and just query it when someone's looking for a match. And let's take Kowalski. And if we now log in as Kowalski, so we can say let's try this again. So I can say I'm a driver, and the interface shows me who's looking for a ride. So I see here there's this one, for example. Then I can see where the start is and where the arrival point is. And there's point B and point C. This is where where the passenger comes to the car, and point C is where I drop him off. And ideally, this is on the same route, but if there are not as many drivers available, we have to make some compromises. And yes, this is pretty much it.
Thank you. Thanks for your presentation. So we move on to the next team that has a solution for the same challenge. So we actually can compare it. This is the Tortilla team from Spain. Ooh, the whole team comes on stage. Who's going to present it? You? Oh, you're the background man in black. I see. So same rules for you. You have around 6 minutes time. Tienes que ir más para ahí, porque aquí no se ven online. O sea, no te vas para ahí junto a tu amiguito, que se ve mejor. No. Esto es la zona. Aquí no, esta es la mía. My part, your part. Aquí.
Thank you.
So, impressive. Good luck.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Javier. I'm part of this amazing team. We call ourselves Tortilla team. We are from Barcelona, from iSolutions. And our challenge is about reaching climate targets together. And it's, well, the same challenges as before. So let's start with it. So we wanted to do something this is about the challenge. We wanted to do something different with another focus. So the challenge was about developing an application to encourage car owners to share the trip in order to reduce pollution. So we wanted to focus on that. We know that there are already other applications in the market, but we wanted to distinguish ourselves. So our approach was to focus on people that own cars and use cars frequently, have a different business than current market application, for example, the one that we already know. And we use the cross-platform technology, so we can use our application in our mobile phones and also in a web platform at any time, and anyone can reach that. And we kind of wanted to gamificate the thing, so we keep our users engaged. So what makes ours a unique and an innovative solution? So it's a non-commercial application. So it means like between users, there is no money involved. So the main idea of the application is to reduce the pollution. There is a system of points, which depends on the car you have, if it is what kind of fuel it has, and the distance you go from point A to point B. Users, we have a leaderboard or users that we want them to be rewarded as much as they use the application. So we had some data from gamification. We kind of separated the cars by fuel. Depending on the fuel, we have some measures there. And this is the data we use for gamification. So we have our drivers and our passengers. And there is kind of a trade-off between those. So on our left, the drivers and the passenger. Oh, sorry, not this passenger, this one. So about the technology, we use .NET Core. We use React Native for the cross-platform feature. We use Bing API. We use GitHub Actions. We have all our pipeline deployed there. And when we push our code, it was all published. We use Azure Web Application and Entity Framework and SQL Server for persistence. And the current features, the one that implemented in the last 24 hours, are login and registration of a user and his car or her car, create and use the trips, request a trip, and also the gamification feature. So can you already guess the name of the app? Maybe I will give you some hints. No? Still? Almost there. Carless. Less car, let's go to. Good, eh? So I invite you to give it a try right now. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to that URL, which is over there, whichever is good for you. You will have it in your browser. We already deployed that for native applications, but yeah, it's easier for you if you just QR there, and you can give it a try. You can register a user, you can see trips and request trips. So we have a quote here, and which is Carless, a fantastic mobile application and web platform for encouraging car owners to share trips with other people in order to reduce pollution and therefore contribute with our planet. And it was said by Carl O. Smith. So a bit of the screenshot, how it looks like. You may have a look to your mobile phones right now, but maybe I can just quickly show you a bit. Let me see. In my mobile phone, better. Maybe some of the guys can support me here. So this one is the welcome page. You can sign up. I have to use my fingers, actually, and not to turn up my phone. There you go. So this is the sign up form with the data we use at the moment. We only allow the person to use one car. I just wanted to use this account. This is the dashboard where you have the current trips. You can do some search. At the moment, we have some location already preset. You can select the origin, the destination, and also the date you want to search. And then you can accept or remove some requests. And then if you go here, you can see your profile. And if you go here on the top, you can see the leaderboard. So we wanted to share this leader board for engaged people that use most the car and share the car to get some award from some partnership that we want to do later on. I think I'm running out of time. Thank you for having us. This is more or less what was the next thing that we thought that it would be interesting to have. Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure to be here, and it was a good night last night. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tortilla team, for the great and funny presentation. So now is the team Solutioners. They have a new challenge that they will present, the one of BEKB. I wish you good luck and have fun.
Okay, then let's start. Can I introduce Rafi? Rafi tries to live a sustainable life and is always looking for new ideas on how to make his life even more sustainable. Fortunately, he has already registered for a while on the Live Sustainability platform. That's our application. And he benefits from information, tips, and can exchange ideas with his friends about eco-friendly topics. So let's jump into it and let's start the application. PowerPoint. So let's dive into this demo. The data on the platform covers 4 topics: food, home, travel, and stuff. Stuff is everything you can buy, commercial stuff, let's say. Each color stands for 1 topic. And the scores, because Rafi has used the app since a while, he already has earned quite a lot of points. On the top, we can see his current score of each topic. Here, he can compare his score against the average of all fellows. Additionally, he can see already earned achievements. And Rafi is pushing hard on his way to reach a higher score. Currently, he has already accepted a challenge that is still ongoing. A detailed page shows more detail about his challenge and provides information when Rafi has reached the goal and can mark the challenge as completed. That's the way Rafi can increase his score. Okay, so that means he has accepted the challenge and earned some points again. And further down on the app, Rafi can browse through new challenges. He can jump into the details, and if he like, he can accept the new challenge to improve his sustainability life.
Did you know that turning down the heating saves a lot of energy? Never heard about that. Let's accept the challenge.
Okay, now in the active challenge this one appears as a new topic and he can run for the goal. Further below, Rafi can find additional tips to improve his sustainable life even more. For this, our platform cooperates with another company. Since the other company and we are aiming for the same goal, they offer us already existing tips and product placements. The content shown here is automatically scraped from their site, so the tips are always up to date. That's our short demo, and now I can hand over to other Rafi.
So, what's the business value of all of this? I can tell you it's huge. We put our community first. So I talk about what's the value for our community first. Our community wants to live a sustainable life. We want to support them to be even more sustainable. And so we give them challenges that they can improve. And yeah, they can also share with friends. And then our next business value is our partner, BEKB, the bank from Bern. They can really be as known as a sustainable company through our platform, because they say, look, we have a platform, we support a platform where the people gain sustainability. And they can hire their reputation, of course. And the third one are our suppliers. So the suppliers, they can turn in challenges. Let's say a farmer has pumpkin season at the moment. So he thinks, well, I have many pumpkins, I have to sell them. So what he can do is he can create a challenge. Hey, cook a pumpkin meal this week. So the people needs to buy pumpkins on local farmers, so he gain customers. And because our platform is so great, they are happy customer. And what do happy customers? They lead to new customers. And let's go to Mark.
Yeah, let's take the last 15 seconds to tell you something about the architecture. Main point that you don't see on the slide is that we used secretless authentication between the services, including Azure SQL, DB, Azure Active Directory authentication. So we were more or less secretless through our deployment pipeline. And now I have to finish because time is up.
Thank you so much for your presentation. You can take your laptop with you. Ah, wir müssen das Viertel. Okay. So we move on to our youngest team coming from Slovenia, right? Slovakia. Oh, fuck. Sorry, it was my fault.
It's normal. You're used to it.
Oh, sorry. What does the name Pishkotki means?
Pishkotki is actually a great story for us, because this is my second hackathon in my whole life, and the first hackathon was connected with the Slovenian hackathon.
You see, you make the same mistakes as I do.
Yes, it spreads. And on the first hackathon, which was in Slovenia, there was this website full in Slovenian language, and the first thing that pops up on us was to allow cookies, which is in Slovenian language povolic Pishkotki, which was actually really funny for us. So we decided to put this as a name, and it was really fun for them, and we used it as well because we just like the name. So that's it, actually. Really fun story, I think.
Great. Nice that you're here. So good luck
Yeah.
for your presentation.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so hi, my name is Marek and I belong to the team Pishkotki. As a Slovakian team, I should move. As a Slovakian team, a few days ago, we didn't even know who BLS is or who they actually are. We didn't know what kind of deep history is behind this company, but now we know. We found out how important this company was and still is for Switzerland and for travel in terms of traveling and going around like Alps and stuff. Yeah. BLS connects. That's one verb describing the whole company, and it's even located in the logo. And it definitely does connect. But our challenge was to make it connect even more. So that's why we've been working on additional features to the existing BLS mobile app. It's not Slovenia. Why are you laughing? Yes, as I mentioned, as a team from Slovakia, it took us 17 hours to get here to this beautiful mountainous country. Yeah, that's a long time. And when you are traveling this long, you definitely appreciate anything that will keep you busy on the road. For example, listening to podcasts in your BLS mobile app application about some stuff you can see in Switzerland or about the cities and stuff, or about Alps. Yes, and you will also maybe interested in some interesting facts about anything connected to whichever country you are going in. Yes. Okay. But for some people like me, it still wouldn't be enough. Imagine being in a train for 15 hours long straight. Wouldn't it be cool if you could actually meet the people in the train that are going the same route with you? It would be cool, in my opinion. You never know what friends you can meet on board, and some of them may stay forever. So we took advantage of that. With new meeting feature in BLS mobile app, you can meet people traveling same way or in the same tray and get to know them. You know, socialize. Like that's what many of us want after this COVID pandemic, don't we? Yeah, but we didn't stop there. We decided to make an affiliate program that will motivate customers to bring their friends to using BLS application and maybe traveling as well. For every person invited by our customer, he or she will be rewarded with points that can be used to get discounts on other tickets as well. We will introduce even the ranking system based on our points, which will allow everybody to know whether some passenger is first time traveling with BLS, like I did, or whether he had been using BLS every day for a long time. While meeting the people and getting to know the country is awesome, we can't forget about the important information. New BLS app feature will bring information text channels dedicated to each train, where the passengers can see detail and current information, like why did this train stop? Like it usually happens in Slovakia. I don't know how about Switzerland. And we are always curious about it. So it would be really nice to have a channel where you can get this information straight away. You don't have to wait. You can get to know where is the estimated time of arrival to the next station and this important stuff. Yeah. In this chat, you will be also able to call a guide or order food, some from the menu if you want. And the last two features will be the ability to report annoying people. We all know them. Whether they are doing inappropriate stuff or they are loud or actually in this pandemic not wearing a mask. Yeah, that can be a problem too. Whatever that shouldn't be happening on board. And the last one is surprisingly internationality. BLS app should be available for everyone. whether everyone around the globe, whether it is someone from Switzerland, Slovakia, or Antarctica. About our code, I have to make an apology to all of you in terms of our team, because we didn't manage to make a fully working app that we could show you. We would really want to show you our ideas, but we are incapable of doing it now. Maybe maybe with more time and more informations that we will definitely try to learn in next time. And yeah, so we are sorry, but this is all that we have. But we know that we can't compare with other teams for who we keep our fingers crossed. And we are still really thankful that we could be here and we could experience the Young Boys Hackathon's atmosphere. And most importantly, try to take humanity one step further. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for being part of it and for your presentation and taking the whole long way from home to this place. Now we move on to the team that did the ELCA challenge, WorkFoodBalance. I'm not sure if you worked more or enjoyed more the meals that we had, but welcome on stage. Good luck.
So much. So, hello everyone, I'm Monica from the team WorkFoodBalance, and we were working on the ELCA challenge. Remember the crowd bet thing? So we developed an app that the crowd can bet on live events, on interactive events, and also on static events. And the scoring is different on how many points you bet. So we knew each other already from last year, so the team was stable since last year. We will work together again. And this is the tech stack that we were working on. So we developed a Ruby on Rails application and with a SQL database, and then with a Docker container, we published it to Azure. Now, the solution. So the fan receives different questions, either static or event-driven questions. This can be before, during, or after a football game, for example. And every question has a starting and an ending point. So, for example, if something really spectacular happens during the football game, the user has to decide very fast what he wants to bet. And then he also, for the scoring, he can choose whether he wants to bet 10 points or, for example, all in, or how many points he can bet on that question. And there is also a pot questioning. So the scores are divided by the people that bet on that question. And of course, the administrator can also add questions manually if this is necessary. So I will show you our demo. So actually, as an administrator, I can insert new questions here. And then the simulation can start when the event starts. And then I have the questions, which I can answer, of course, with the mobile phone. Who wins the face-off? I can decide, guests or young boys, of course. And then I see that I got more points. One added value is also that we have these questions powered from sponsors. And of course, I can see how much time is left to answer the question. So let's say that eBay is substituting first. Free kick, no, I don't think so. You see, this one is quite a fast question because it's right now happening on the football game. And for this one, I do have much more time. Of course, eBay. And here I can choose now how many points of my 162 I want to bet for this question. Of course, I'm biased. Let's say 6 cards. This was right again, okay. The more risk, of course, I take, the more points I get. And now currently nothing is happening, but further questions are following. If something is happening, oh, a fast one, again, 10 seconds. Yes, he will make it. No, he didn't. So you see there's the option of static questions and also event-driven questions. And the administrator can still add some more questions where the crowd can bet on. What do you think? More than 25,000 spectators? Yes. Okay. Oh, best player voting. This is a hard one. Oh. Of course, we will win the hackathon. Yeah, I think you got an idea of our demonstration. And to conclude, I would add that we could improve, of course, the prototype. For example, with uploading photos, or it would be possible, should be possible to take a photo of the match ticket and then gather extra points for that. Or also it would be possible to do on GPS location, if some person goes to a certain spot or to, let's say, the fan shop, it can also get additional points for the scoring. And of course, we would also like to integrate the news ticker that the user is seeing what's happening in the game right now and what is the correlation of the questions that he or she can bet at the end. So I leave you with the QR code. Please feel free to try it out. We faced some database issues. Fingers crossed that it's working right now. And yeah, this is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. So we already move on. We have the next challenge that was EWB, and there are 3 teams focusing on that challenge. The first one is Be Like Grace. Welcome on stage. You need to connect too? No. Good. A backup version. Who of you is going to present?
I will start.
Here for you.
Is my Tom starting when I grab it? No.
No.
Okay.
Just when you're speaking.
Okay.
Give your best.
Yeah, hello everybody. As mentioned, we are working at the EWB challenge to avoid traffic and find parking spaces. Yeah, we will start with a quick video. So, as you have seen, we think about cars not only as parking vehicles, but also as transportation vehicles. And so, yeah, there are a lot of problems with them. And so we try to mix up a few challenges, but you will see in a bit. Yeah, we use the EBV persona Till, who is a huge EB fan and wants to go to his next match. As you know, you have to buy tickets for that, and so you can do it on Eventbrite. And when Eventbrite is working, you can register for this match, do in all your credentials, as you do it every time. And for our solution, we have to ask him where he lives, and then you see Eventbrite already has implemented our solution. We are asking Till if he wants to carpool for his ride to the match, and he says, yes, I will provide my car, and I also would drive with somebody, so I have a few drinks at the stadium. So now I'm getting my email from Eventbrite that my ticket was registered to me when emails are working. And we have also found someone who is matching with Till to drive to the match. So let's see who is there. Okay, the match I have registered to, and there are a few people who want to drive with me. Brigitte, I think you would be a good match. Sebastian also. And let's look, Marusha, maybe. We will see. We find out. Yeah, we will have a talk at the car. And then we go on. And that was the car sharing part and the carpooling part. And then we want to incentivize using parking spots that are a little bit cheaper if you are far away from the stadium, or you can decide to pay a little bit more money to have a shorter walk. We decide for the cheaper version and then go on. We have also a nice overview over all of that. And then, of course, for carpooling, it's really important that we can have a short route. And yeah, that is where we calculate it and have all the participants on the way to the stadium. So that was for the demo. Yeah, Till is now happy. But what are we making different? We try to vertical and horizontal integrate other solutions that are already existing, like Eventbrite, or other carpooling solutions like BlaBlaCar, and also other parking spot integrations like Park Now and so on. They all provide data or gather data, but you will see they don't share it. That is something we address in a bit. And also we try to use already existing stuff like the notification that came from mail provider and calendar entries. Out of that reason, there are no apps to download or something like that. And we try to incentivize the sustainability for the users, also for the passengers and for the drivers to carpool together to have a better experience and also live sustainable, a little bit more sustainable.
So yeah, we want to reduce the commuter, but because we see on the map there's a lot of them, and if we go to Bern, there's also we can really see the main road, so the main people who go every day to the same place. And so we have a big problem because the city don't give us many information about the parking, so we take open data and we want people to give us them. So for example, the companies or the private
person, they can go there, they can put when they have places, and to allow us to put them and have more places. And yeah, EVB has a business case.
That's bad. Sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Mikropolti. Thanks for the presentation anyway. So let's see what your challengers have done. Digital Impact Network. Only one manpower this time.
They are sitting there and supporting.
Okay. Then I wish you good luck. Here you go.
Hi. Wait, sorry, the presentation is apparently... So, was muss ich machen? Das ist gut gerade, sorry. Okay. Okay. Then I'm ready. So, Park, it's the smart parking space management system. It's ready for the e-mobility era. So as the team before us, we try to solve the EWB challenge. So basically in the briefing documents, they talked a bit about the Hooligan Quartier. You see a sketch here. It's quite a diverse neighborhood here in Bern that is also remodeled and rebuilt over the next couple of years. And there is a couple of challenges around it because there is, leisure, living, but also professional, kind of like infrastructure in that area. As you can imagine, that brings some problems for city planning. And one of them is obviously the use of parking space. We heard it before. Parking spaces are used in a different way on different times and different events. For example, a company parking space is probably used during the week from maybe 8 to 5, but then on the weekends it's empty. And EWB or EWB tries to solve this, and also we help with ParkU. So just a couple of numbers to that potential of this neighborhood. So we have around roughly 2,800 parking spaces there, and if we just use 10% of them, we can create a revenue, as you can see, for 2.5 million per year for the owners of those parking spaces. So it's quite a lucrative and interesting business. And obviously, it's really good for the environment because we don't have to rebuild more and more concrete, spaces where we can park our cars. We wanted to think a bit more about what other use cases could be benefiting from such an idea. For example, the eBay fan experience when you come here to a game night with your car. Usually everything is like there's no parking spots left. Like my office is in Ittigen. Fans are parking there in front of our building and then walking to the stadium. So we believe that a solution like that could actually also improve that situation for other areas so that we can, in advance already book a parking space, make it a bit more dynamic so that we know how it goes. And also there is companies here like SGxBärn, which maybe could rent out their spaces during game night and create some additional revenue through that. Then there is some mega trends on the left side. The energy market is being liberated in the next couple of years. So currently we have like two prices, like day and night, but this will be more dynamic in the future. And we believe that this will create new business models. One could be like electric charging of the e-mobility trend that we see also here with the Tesla car, which will also influence us quite a lot, and especially the electricity provider. And then obviously we want to build more compact cities. I think we all know that.
So our vision is to create a parking system, a management system where people with parking spaces can offer them to others and create, through dynamic pricing, also quite an interesting mix, so that, for example, a company could rent out their spaces only during the night and weekends, but we can also go on and see how much capacity there is still in the region, and then adjust prices through that. And for the perspective of the users, we just want to create a solution where it's super convenient to park in an urban space. It's always annoying to drive around the block 10 times, and we want to create a solution which just gives you the next available spot. We want to focus on e-mobility. This will be a huge change also for parking spots. So we need to also influence that, and we want to create dynamic pricing also for the charging stations, because this will also help the electricity providers to kind of normalize the over and under demand of electricity through the cars. They can use them kind of like batteries, and we want to also offer that solution directly in this app. So what have we done so far? You see a little demo here. We created a mobile prototype that you can already use to a certain degree. So when you start, there is a map which shows your current location, which is Ittigen in that case. I'm not sure exactly why. And then there is some spots that we see. So those are parking spaces that we added already. You can search locations where it shows you, for example, Außerholligen. We created some spots there. And yes, but the most used function will probably be that you just get the parking spot that is the closest to you, and you can see the dynamic prices per hour. They are calculated based on some algorithms on the data that we get, like, for example, how many like how many bookings are already existing in that area, and so on. And then you can select it. Yes, I was a bit slow when I made that video, so I'm talking faster now. Yeah, and then you can already create that route. So we already solved the most basic use case that we have. You can also try it out here quickly. So I give you a second before I jump to the last slide if you want. I hope the server doesn't go down. We are not ready to have like 50 users, I guess. We will find out. Yeah, and yesterday we heard about the emotions that football can bring. We don't believe that our solution will actually bring emotions like that when you win when you win against Manchester United. But we hope that it can be convenient enough that you can concentrate on those feelings and don't have to already arrive angry into the stadium in the future. So thank you.
Danke. Thank you so much for your presentation. So the last team focusing on the same challenge, WeAreRoot. Welcome on stage. Tust du präsentieren? Ganz kurz. Ja. Bitte einfach in die Richtung präsentieren, nicht in die. Das sieht man nicht, wird übertragen. Das sieht man. Ja. Good luck.
Thanks. So WeAreRoot, this is our team, and we present you also our solution to the EWB Digital Parking Space Challenge, Mr. Parker. So that's just our names here to see where we're coming from. And what does Mr. Parker do? It's an app for providing parking spaces, either company or privately owned parking spaces, and for users to find them and to use them. And as a parking space provider, we can actually decide on pricing model. We can define our custom capacity. As of COVID times, you might imagine that even EWB nowadays, during weekdays, does have open parking spaces during Monday, Friday working hours. So you can actually fine-tune your custom capacity, and the user can find the parking space easily. Our tech stack, we built on Azure, and we built an Angular web app with a backend in .NET, and we used OpenStreetMap because we believe in open data and open source, and we don't like to put any more pressure money-wise on EWB. So already time for a demo. Martin. Sorry. So we just arrived here in Bern-Wankdorf at the stadium for our presentation. We'd like to find a parking space, and we can search for an address up there. We can search from now on, or we can search for later on. So, but let's go back to the stadium because we are quite tight on schedule, and let's see some parking spaces we have here. So we have Bern Expo, which has a price 20 Rappen per minute. Oh, that's quite expensive for the next 2 hours because I want to stay for the apro. Let's find a cheaper solution. Okay, that looks good. The contact information is there, some description how to find the parking spot. Let's reserve this parking spot. Now we give you a grace time of 15. Did you already check in? Oh, there. Yeah. Now we actually would have given you a grace time of 15 minutes to reach that parking spot. Otherwise, your booking would be cancelled. But Martin already checked us in, so we are already at the parking spot. And if we're done with our apero, we can check out. And then now let's see how much money was that visit to eBay Hackathon. We parked there now, and we paid 6 francs, and totally we paid on the whole platform. We already paid some money, and yeah. Okay, let's jump back into the presentation. So you've just seen a sketch or the prototype of what we achieved by now. What is missing is a lock-in feature, multi-tenancy, obviously to the app. That was not possible in 24 hours. And what we thought about some nice features that would be really nice for the customer. So imagine you already reserve your parking spot. You reserve it for now or for later on this week if you want to go to the game here or to the movies. And you're running late because you're stuck in traffic. You want to easily extend your booking and say, hey, I can't arrive at that time, but I can extend it and probably even pay some money for it. And well, since we're already here, we might have the apero later on. I already booked my parking spot, and now I like the apero with you guys, and I want to stay longer. I could also prolong my booking during that time if it's still possible and still available. And we also thought about ticket validity. So obviously, if you park in EWB parking spaces, EWB has a security company, and there might be people coming on Monday morning who might think like, who are all these cars parking here? Like, who is that? You can easily like think of something like either look up of the license plate code, or when registering to the app, you can give out a sticker with a QR code where somebody can look up, is that car actually allowed to park here? If you would run up into problems. So also what I mentioned before is we allow the parking space provider to enter custom parking capacities, but you could also think of opening up the pricing model. So let's say during the week, you make it a higher price, and during the weekend, you're actually fine if it's just used and you just sustain with the day. And also what we thought about, well, if you want to reserve for, let's say you go to Daily Hölzli, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, and you already know I'm going next weekend, you can already reserve an hour package and say, I'm going to pay that anyway, so I'm going to book a fixed price, and I don't care if I'm stuck in traffic then. And also what you've seen in another presentation, it would be actually nice to see a navigation to the parking space to see, hey, how far is that? Is that really close? And can I walk afterwards and so on to my target position? And what also would be nice to have a rating of the parking spaces. So let's say that was easy to find, or that wasn't easy to find and the description didn't help. But hey, let's try it yourselves. It's not multi-tenancy yet, but you can actually look at it and try Mr. Parker. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for your presentation. Now we move on to the challenge of inpeek, presented by Patent eBay. Yeah. Please present on that way because we stream this way, not that way. That one. So here where the X is no streaming with the camera is this way. So yes, yeah, and use this screen over there if you want to show something on a screen.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation about the inpeek challenge. Okay, so today, me, Hassam, with David and Krishna, we are going to present our work to you. So first of all, I would like to talk about the business marketing. And well, the energy has a short lifespan and cannot be stored, especially the solar energy. There are days where solar panels produce a lot of energies which could be used and sold because immediately in a short time, it cannot be used anymore. So we have brainstormed how this marketplace could look like, and we produced a website that we could sell and buy the energy on it. Okay, so our group work has been divided into the front end and back end. Me and Christian have been working on the front end, and David has been working on the back end. I will be passing to him to talk about the front end and demonstrate it for you.
So I'm going to show you the demo. So basically we have a landing page, just visual, and then a little bit of a description about the inpeek and what they do, so that people who come on the site can have a little bit of an idea of what company it is. Then this is basically the marketplace. These are elements. We only stored 5 for visual effects, but we can query them here, and we can find more in the database that were not there. We can query them by location, by quantity, by price. If we check by quantity, it works also by price too. And we have a button here that can check if it's sunny or rainy, because the prices, the number of the quantity of electricity changes depending on the weather. Because if there's more sun, more energy will be produced. And and then we have the last page is basically to create a sale. So for the moment, we don't have a login, but basically this would be an admin part of the login to create an offer. And we also, since this was meant to be with smart contract, but we didn't use blockchain, we just did a little wallet. So that would mimic basically what would happen. And if we buy, we can see that it changes and updates like it would do in a blockchain environment.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now you have seen how you can create energy resource that you want to sell to a peer or a colleague or a complete stranger. And now I'm showing you a dashboard which you can use to consume these resources in a hopefully a bit of intuitive fashion. So you can log in. And then here you see the different offers that you can choose of. But first, maybe you have like a household or like an apartment, and then you can like configure the usage of this apartment. Maybe like you have garden lighting. So like you here in the middle have to like, yeah, feed the garden light, like have energy for the garden lighting. Maybe like for the Tesla also. Now you see what you need to yeah, make this all work, and now you can like look here like which consumer you want to get your energy from. Now here you see like the market development. That's just right now we have the demand is growing, so we predict a bit higher prices. But of course, it's like no like rocket science. It's just something. And now we choose, we choose like this energy supplier here, and now we should see some movement there. Okay. Yeah, it is not the expected. Yeah, it is not the expected result. In testing, it worked at once, because then now we have like energy, and then we don't need to buy anymore. But how we have built it, so yeah, the backend is in .NET Core. This thing here is in Blazor, and then we are using Azure SQL, Azure App Service, also Managed Identity, and GitHub Actions for the build, and release pipeline. So that's my part.
Okay, so our last slide is on Christian's laptop. Yeah, it's the thank you slide, and like it was great to be in this hackathon. We just enjoyed it. We were in 3, and we didn't even know each other, so we got very good along and brainstormed, and
We know each other by heart.
great. That was a nice one. That was a nice one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking part at the EVA Hackathon. Now we move on. We have the challenge of Thommen, and we have 2 competitors for this challenge. One is the team Recyclers. It's the only team that also has worked with a remote hacker, right? Come on stage. You're the only one here, so you have to present your solution.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you need help?
How do I connect this one?
Which one do you need?
I need this one, I think.
This one. I guess it's this one, no? For the Mac.
No, that's this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and here is your micro.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hello. Why is the slide not coming there? Oh. So we worked on the Thommen challenge. So myself, Ullash, and Antonio, who's working remotely. So just to give a context, Thommen has suppliers who supply them with scrap metal. They process it, and then they've got buyers who buy it. The problem, what happens here is there is the customers, they need really highly plannable workflow within an hour or 2 hours. You need to tell Thommen is to tell their customers what is coming. So they get 2-hour slots. If they miss it, it seems to be a high cost to them, because the next slot may be in the next week, and the driver and the container will have stuff in it, and the driver will be allocated to it. So there's this high uncertainty, there's cost, and cost of missing time to deliver to customers. So what will this problem has different components. We cannot influence everything. So what we will target in this in our hackathon is part of it to improve the forecasting accuracy of material receipts, which will in turn enable to better to reduce the uncertainty of or improve the planning of when you can deliver items to customers. The second problem Thommen takes quite a bit of risk when they buy stuff. The reason being, the suppliers say it'll have 1,000 tons of steel, for example. When it comes and to Thommen and they check it, it turns out that it has maybe 1 ton of wood or something else. So that's a risk to them. So, and if these things come in, there are delays to the whole process. Sometimes they may need to call the account manager who might come the next day. So there's delay, there is uncertainty, which is, and there's people that dependency as well. The person who can determine just by looking at a truck visually, because what's inside, no one knows. You need really experienced people to tell. So those people, they are really highly dependent on them. So they want to basically digitize the whole process, see if they can improve the accuracy of determining the composition. So what we'll try to target in this in our hackathon is improve the accuracy to determine the material composition, try to reduce the delays, give real-time feedback, and digitize the whole process. Our solution is what we're proposing. We have detachable camera units that can be attached to the containers. These camera units will have SIM cards. They'll have batteries in them. They'll feed as the containers get filled up. They'll take pictures at different stages. These pictures will be sent to a cloud platform where there'll be a machine learning algorithm which will classify what those pictures have, the composition of the material as the container gets filled. Then it'll also tell how full the container is. That data can be fed to forecast when the container will get filled and when Thommen will get the consignment to improve the forecasting accuracy and planning. So then this data can also be fed to an app, which we tried building, and we can also feed it to Thommen's SAP systems via APIs. So what we did for this hackathon, we built a Raspberry Pi camera unit. We built 2 algorithms, computer vision algorithms, to classify what's in the images and how full the container is. Really basic algorithms that we built. Then we built a forecasting tool, a really simple forecasting web app, which forecasts when, based on how full the container is by when. So we've taken 2 data points, empty, half full. Then from that we project when it's going to get full. Then we can use that data to improve the planning accuracy. So I will I'll show a quick demo of the camera capturing app that Antonio will be talking through.
Using a computer that is taking pictures in the precise moment. What do you mention about the app? Well, we were wanting to use the Uploader app, but we were struggling with some stuff related to the data in the CSV file, well, the Excel file, but yes, in the end, it was going to be a Flutter app because it's possible to use it with a web app and also a mobile app. But there is not so much to mention, really, because I can't show it.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, so this is a quick demo of the Raspberry Pi unit.
So first we set up the server.
I'll quickly run. We're running out of time, so I'll quickly talk about it. What he's done is he's built using a Raspberry Pi and a Flask. He's built a unit which takes pictures and sends it via an API to the machine learning algorithm. I will then quickly give a demo of the algorithm. So this is the a quick test. This algorithm will classify images on the composition of the classify what is there in the images. For example, let's go to this. I've built it using Microsoft Cognitive Services Vision API. So I've got some test images. So let me take one of them and upload it.
Don't see it.
Oh. Yeah, so I've uploaded the image. And at the bottom, as you can see, it's predicted. The top material it's saying is it's got aluminum. So it's 49% accuracy, 49% probability. Then the second top model is metal is. It's got metal and some pipe rods, which as you can see, this. That's the first model. The second model is...
Time is over.
Okay, the second model does how full the container is.
The micro is my one. Thank you. So we move to the competitors of this challenge of Thommen. It's the team La Viande Hacké. French speaking, right?
French, it's French.
La viande hacké, c'est juste?
La viande hackée, ouais.
Hein? Très bon. Alors, bonne chance.
Merci.
Il y a peu de place ici.
C'est marrant, avant ça marchait.
Là, non, tu commences.
Ah, maintenant c'est une autre chose.
Okay, hi everyone. So it is just a reminder that Halloween is coming, so buy your costume now, because then it's too late. I see. So our project is What the Scrap. That's the name of our project. It's the same project as before, is with the company Thommen. So just here is a small slide to show you what's going on there on the daily basis. So on the right, you have trucks. They come every day with pile of waste. Then you have the waste center, and they have to filter all the waste into different categories. And this waste is then processed and sold as a product later to clients. So like this, it seems easy, but after 24 hours, I can tell you, if you work there, it's really challenging, because the truck is coming and you have the choice between 70 categories. So it's really a challenge to know, okay, the truck is coming, where does he put the pile of waste? So the challenge is really to determine that. Also, they have uncertainty about what's the component, because you have truck and it's often pile of waste, so you don't know what's inside, if it's metal. So the goal of our app is to help them. The guys working there, they're really good, but we say maybe we can help them. So we want to help them with the stocks, the inventories, because they have final products and they don't know the level. So for example, if they miss metal, they have to process more metal. Also, we want to make projection with machine learning technique. And the big part we worked on is we got a lot of images, thank you very much, because they have a nice ERP and they take picture when a truck is coming. So we say, okay, let's do an image processing algorithm. So we help them to classify the waste. So let's get our hands dirty and we can go. Oui. So yeah, the difficulty with those images. Non, mais c'est pas encore la démo, tu fais quoi? Suivant. So here it's what's coming. There's a truck. So that's what we call the good example. It's quite easy, right? You have cans, you have rims, you have clothes. Okay, that's fine. I know where to put it. Now it's when it's become more difficult, because it's two images, but it goes to different categories. And as you can see, it's very challenging for me. Maybe a machine can do better. That's our goal, to find in which category it goes. And also, so far they use the RP, just they take picture to have a follow-up of the process. So we had to sort a lot of images because the quality is not always perfect, as you can see. And now let's go to the app demonstration.
Okay,
so
you can go at the same time, but I'll show so you won't see the link anymore. I'm sorry. So here you see we have a login, as every app should have. It was very important, took some time. So the first page you land on is the inventory page. So you have, for all these categories, you have you just have a state symbol saying if you're fine or if you have to do something. They also buy some of the materials, so they don't only have suppliers bring it in, so they buy it. Maybe they're interested in some specific supplies, so they can start and search. Then they can look in details what's going on. I picked a random one, so it's probably going to be bad. So you have the evolution of what came in. You have nothing going out, but now we'll pick one cherry picked, and it's going to be Schredder. Schredder, comment? Schredder, ça. Okay, so here we have both. We have
incoming quantities and outgoing quantities. You see here, actually we didn't, here that's today, or that's the date where the data ends, and then we have projections. So that's all about the inventory. Now when something new comes in, we're gonna load a picture. Now I'll just drag and drop a picture in, but if I'm on the phone, I can just take a picture and it's gonna be quantified. So I'll take this picture here. Actually, at the same time, I can show it. Or maybe that wasn't a good idea. Yeah, so that's the picture. I feed it the website. So you see it's a lot of cans, and we have here, it says aluminium Getränkedosen, so it's the right category. And we have also a smiley telling us that the algorithm is pretty confident in what it's saying. It's sentient. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to the slides.
Mais juste là où il peut faire la démo. So you can try it out if you want with, we've put images on Twitter if you want to try. So it's a big challenge, maybe you don't realize, because we have 60 categories. So all the picture I've shown you, they look really the same. So that was a big challenge. And then on the technical part, yeah, it's over. We just use Amazon recognition to do the image processing. The web app is with Amazon, and the storage also on Amazon. And that's it for our country.
We went through about 10,000 pictures by hand to sort them because we had a lot of pictures we couldn't use. Yeah, so it wasn't all like... Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for the presentation. So there are 3 teams left, and we move on to the eBay challenge. The first presentation will be by the team No Code. Good luck, guys.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So my name is Sophie, and we're the no-code team. So as you've seen in the name, we actually use no-code. We're for the first time at the hackathon, so we thought, let's take it easy. We're not going to use code. So maybe next year we're going to be called with code. We'll see. You can go further. So the technology that we use, since we're from iSolutions and we're a partner with Microsoft, we use the Power Platform. So as you can see, we use the Power Apps to actually create the apps, and then we used Power Automate to automate inside the app and also have data from outside the app and going out as well. So we've had a data connector with LinkedIn and obviously the Dataverse to store our data. So we're going to move to the demo first. So we created actually 2 apps. So one app is going to be on screens within the stadium, and the other one is going to be on the big screen. So you'll have to, get out of the presentation. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the app that people will see on iPads around the stadium. The person that actually sets up these screens will have to choose when the game takes place, what weather it is outside. I'll tell you more about it afterwards. And what competition it is and who the guest is. So, Okay. All right. So the person will start the app and then leaves it for the game. As you can see, there's the integration with with Twitter. And yeah, I mean, you've not been at the game if you haven't posted any pictures. So that's why we had to integrate that. So what the person that sets up these screens does is start when the game starts. And what we'll see in a few seconds is the start of the game. So you have the different events from the game that will appear here. And you will see who sponsors the different events from the game. What we've also done is having different sponsors that are turned here. So they change. And what we've seen before, the weather outside will actually influence what logos are showed. So basically what we thought is that you can sell double the spots, since maybe there's some advertisements that are only for rainy days or sunny days. So you can have double the spots going around. And since this is like a terminal, you can actually go and have a picture taken. So if it works, yeah, it works. Yeah, it's not a very flattering picture, but so it's going to take 2 seconds to make it, and then you can actually post it. And then you come back to the actual screen, and then it will show up here in the feed and also on the Twitter account from eBay. What you can also do is actually take a picture with your phone and hashtag this, and it will show up on the screens. So as you've seen, the game has been going on. Yeah, here you see it now. The game has been going on and the sponsors change each time. I'm just going to wait until it's done to show you the second app that is going to be on the big screens on each side of the stadium. So now there has been a red card. So here it also shows up red. The second app is actually the same setup. And then when the game starts, you just click here and it will go on. So it's the same data that comes in from each event from the game. And we can wait until the break, and then another screen will come up with one of the pictures from Twitter so that you can be famous and on the big screens. So the value added for these, let's go back. So we have a few added business values, of course. So you have higher fan interactions because they can go up to the screen, talk to other fans, have a picture taken. And so you have also more social media reach and more activities on your social media accounts. You have more targeted advertisement because you can filter on weather, you can filter on other events during the game, and obviously you could extend that to other events and other filters. You have new advertisement space because you have more screens all over the stadium where you can turn the advertisement or the logos. Oh, my timer was up. Yeah, so it's great. We have used no code, and thank you for listening.
Thank you guys for showing us your solution with no code. Now we move on to a solution with code presented by Hackantons. One of you is going to present? You. Just use this side because we stream this side. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. We are Hackantons and we are here to revolutionize the way BST young boys communicate with their fans. I mean, first we will start with a little state of the current ecosystem. I mean, the young boys, they have a Twitter account and they do have some content. They have some text, they have some images, but no offense, Sebastian, but it's a little bit boring. There also is a live the match center where you have live information about what's happening. It's super useful information, some content about the game, some images, and that's all cool. That's great, perfect. But if you really want to make a change, if you really want to present something new, you need stories, you need reels, you need text, you need talks. In the end, you need videos, and that's the problem right now. Because if you want to create videos, real-time videos at an event, that's quite costly. You need professionals, you need expensive software, you need time, you need dedication. And that's why we are here today. Because as I said before, we will revolutionize the way how content creators at BEKB will create videos in the future.
Thank you, Nico. And now we proudly present the eBay Smart Content Center. So let's have a look at its features. So I make it a little bit bigger for the last row. Can you see it? Yes, good. So it's a web-based application, so there's no installation required. We have on the left-hand side, we have the video preview, a live video preview, which is based on templates. Now I will show you the gold template. We can change immediately let's say we want to show a score and post it to Twitter. Let's say in the 89th minute, there is a goal from, let's say, Fasnacht or Abischer. No, we take Fasnacht. It's not the first goal, it's the third score against, let's say, FCB, and the sponsor is iSolution. So if the content creator is happy with it, we render the video. It's going to go invoke the AWS Lambda functions. In fact, there are many functions invoked. It's concurrent rendering the video, and eventually it put everything together. And now we have an MP4 video, which we can download. We can put it on Facebook, on TikTok, or on Twitter. Now let's put it on Twitter. Out of the facts, we get immediately a text. Yeah, we could edit it, but no, it's okay for us. Let's post it to Twitter. In the meantime, some words about the infrastructure. We are defined our infrastructure as code and deployed it on AWS. We are using AWS Fargate, ECR, load balancers, and a lot of stuff. We don't have to care about the infrastructure. We just can focus on code because we also have a CI/CD pipeline. Now, let's have a look at the tweet. And there you see our video is rendered and posted on Twitter. And we didn't have the credentials of eBay, so we use our account, but that shouldn't be a problem. So Johnny, now please, let's dive deeper.
Yeah, thank you. There are more options that you can control. So we have two different formats. One is a portrait mode, and then there's also like a square mode. It's kind of like a responsive video if you want, a small innovation by us. Then also what we have experimented with a bit is that we thought it would be cool that instead of having these static images, that you would have like videos of players who are celebrating. So we have asked Jana and Carola from the women team. Maybe you remember them from yesterday. And this is how it could look like. And here's another kind of like stop motion animation. Also, we have a substitution template. Substitution, we think, would be pretty hard to prepare this content as a social media manager up front because it can be anything. But with our tool, you can just select any two players. And it will give you the right video that you can post on your stories or on your Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's pretty cool. But the problem is, what is about live events? At the moment, if you look out there, there is no event. So we went back in time a little bit and we picked one date you might remember that was, oh, sorry, that was a success, but that's also great. So we picked this 23rd of September 2018. That was the day when eBay scored 7 points against FC Basel. And we took the data from the match center and we recreated the live stream. So we have live data coming in. And as a content creator, we can now just click on any event that's coming in and it will pre-define or it will just create a new template with the data. So there was a score by Christian Fasnacht, sorry. So we can just click there and we have the minute set and we have the player set and everything. Then there was a change, Betrone for Fasnacht. So we can just click on that and we have it and just the same as we did before. So we think that's quite a great innovation, sorry. And now we really want to encourage you, go to center.bstib.dev. There you find the live version, and we really want to invite you to challenge us or our infrastructure, because those are not just pre-rendered templates or some After Effects templates or pre-rendered videos. That's just live, full HD video editing in the browser through all the Lambda and all the Azure stuff. But this is just full HD video editing in the browser. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for that presentation. Amazing. So we move on now to our last presentation for today. It is the team SGxBärn. But just to mention, there is also one from Zurich in the team. It's not only St. Gallen and Bern. So it's an international Swiss team. So, bitte.
When you hear this song and you get goosebumps, you're probably in the stadium and it's game day. But what do you do if you're not in the stadium and you want to follow the game? You probably go on the match center, as explained before, and you follow the live ticker. The homepage that are static are probably hard-coded, and they all the viewers get the same ad. What we want to do with the eBay Smart Content Challenge is to create from live event data and other data sources dynamic advertisements. We want for eBay to create the right ad at the right moment to get the right results. Why did we choose the match center? For us, we got the data as a live ticker data, and it made most sense to include it into the match center where this is. Also, we want to include our solution into the existing eBay app to where all the users are registered and the target group of the partners are. In the end, the live event data gives us enough content to create dynamic advertisements for the young boys. We used in the backend Spring Boot and on the front end Vue.js and created 3 different types of dynamic advertisements. One in pre-gamement, everything leading up to the game itself with the live events, and the post-game summing up the game and maybe have a little look into the future. The pre-game consists of an API to the SFL with the lineup, but also weather information. For example, if it's 20 degrees, we get an advertisement for alcohol-free beer from Feldschlösschen. But maybe if it's a bit colder, we can promote the eBay Wurst in the stadium, the sausage. And if it goes below freezing temperature, we can promote a partner from the young boys, which are building oven to keep the warm and comfy. In the game itself, we have to focus on the different events that happen. For example, a goal by our number 17, Gamaru. So if he scores a goal, the template will come up with the go in the background and the sponsor. And the player that scored the goal will also be put in front, as well the score. As I said, there are different, we can use different events, for example, substitutions, halftime, VAR decisions, or offside. And one example for the offside would be Swisscom, faster than any opponent, but only in the net. And post-game, we sum up the statistics and also promote our next home game where people can buy their tickets. What is the benefit for and the business value for with this solution? We create more advertising space, which generates more revenue for the young boys. Also, the dynamic ads can be displayed in any kind of form to different users, which saves cost because it's automatic. And it also saves time for the marketing department to they do not need to create it manually anymore. They can just run it through this solution. And also in the future, there is enough potential to improve the solution even more. So that was what we thought we want to do and could do. I will show you now the demo, what we were able to do. And yeah, as you can see, we didn't have a live event data, so we also had it. It was historic data, and it will just be put into the context. So, for example, there was a injury, and you get an advertisement for a cream. So, however, if we would have more time, we also thought about what we could do in the future. And future implementations could be some kind of gamifications where you could either interact, logged-in users can interact, or the partner can give a kind of a small game, and if the user solves it, they get a small reward. Or live voting, as we have it now in the app with the best player voting, or we include the crowd bet solution into our solution. There are different rooms of improvement. And also, we would like to include geolocation so that people outside the stadium get different ads than people that are in the stadium, and also maybe different language regions. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. And if you want to chat or have questions, come later, especially crowd bet team at the Apero. And yeah, thank you. It was fun.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much to all these teams. I'm personally really impressed what kind of solutions came out after this 24 hours hackathon. Really impressed. I hope the jury is impressed as well. They will take now their time to do their decision. And I just can say a big applause to all the teams, and you can be so satisfied and proud of yourself. Thank you so much for being part of it. So now during the break, during the jury will take his time to make the decision, I friendly ask you to vote, as previously mentioned, the Publicum, the Audience Award. So please do it. You have time until 1:15. So take your time. You don't need to do it right now, but I see everyone is already doing it. Great. Then I ask you, as mentioned before as well, to go to the other room and take your personal stuff, to clean your stuff. You don't need to clean the room. That will be done by us, but just that you're ready then to leave so that we can move on. So, great. Now you can go over, do your thing, and then we will meet everyone again here 1:15. See you later.